the whole goal for what I was doing, Dylan, I was the shark in the water. I was the killer of real estate back in the days, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and up to that point. And I cared about nothing but the houses. I didn't care about the people. I didn't care about anything except for closing the deal, right? That's what the space created, and the environment pushed everybody to do that, pushing and hustling and hustling. And so I was like, you know what? There's got to be a better way to do it. And I realized, and there's a whole backstory to that, and we have a longer time one day, I'll tell you. But I was realizing there's a family attached to every house that I'm talking to.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Chad McCall, manages notes and rehabs for investors all over the world. And prior to that, he owned a call center for 20 years, over 100 million produced in telesales. Chad, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's good to be here, Dylan. Thanks for having me.
I always like to start off at the top of the show by asking guests how they got into their segment of real estate. In your case, the notes space, right? And the rehab space.
Man, if I backed it up and told you how I got really started, I'll do a really quick little blurb on it. Is I bought my first house at 14 years old, Dylan, and you're gonna be like, "What the heck? That doesn't sound even possible." Well, in 1991, I was in a car accident, and to make this, I'll speed it up a little bit. Um, I got an insurance settlement from this car accident. I'm from a very poor family in Western North Carolina, single mom household. Um, I took that money, and when you're from where I'm from, if you're this kid, you look after mama. And that's what I did. Is anytime someone comes into some money, you buy mama a house. Is kind of what you raise. That's how your values and morals are. And that's what I did. I bought my mom a house at 14 years old, and I was able to later sell that house and put myself through college, and rented out a house by the room to be able to put myself through school. And later, what's what catapulted me into later in business is the two properties that I'd sold. That was giving me the capital to be able to go start my own when I invested later in 1998, when I got started full time in this real estate game. So 1998 full time started this, and I never looked back since.
Now, we were talking before the show here about your business and telesales, working for so many people, how you had really worked with so many folks that people would know. At the same point in time, though, you had a real estate portfolio.
Yes, I did. I used to work with a lot of the top investors out there in the world. Some are retired now, some are still going. Some of the most famous ones now today that are out there that are influencers were students of the people that I know and watched them grow up doing their first deals. That's how far I go back. It's where this gray hair comes from, Dylan. It didn't come from, that's not fake, it's natural. So it comes with some stress and growing. But before the internet, that call center taught me a lot too, Dylan. It taught me prior to, the internet things. It teaches you marketing. It teaches you sales. It teaches you people. It teaches everything that you don't learn today, because now we have all these things that have came in, AI and, bots and chatting and, even email, back when we first started, no one had an email account. We had one corporate email that would give the sales team, Dylan. Imagine that.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
You don't have an email address. You have one that everybody's using, right? So that's how far things have come in technology. And then now with AI and, you're getting, it has changed so much, but you learn people and you learn the way of life that people have, and the data is what gave my call center the most value, Dylan, is the data that you're accumulating over those years about people and demographics and locations and needs and wants and, problems and the good. And, you really can navigate your entire business off of data. And if you listen, and the most true data to me was coming right from the people, right from the mouth versus, someone else telling you that, it's firsthand data, in that world versus
Right.
second or third hand. That's what I learned.
I think when we talk about the distressed seller space, this is something where we were talking about this beforehand. People look at it very much, here's an offer, take it or leave it. And it's kind of just the way that it's set up. It's like people are potentially losing their home. And what can they do? What recourse do they have? They've got to sell, or they've eventually got to leave the house. That's the conventional way of thinking. I've always thought there's got to be a better way to do this. I've had maybe 2 people on the show who've talked to me about ways where people can stay in the home for a limited period of time. But there's a much, I would say, friendlier way to do business where you can effectively partner with those people. And that's what you're doing in the note space.
Yes, and the whole goal for what I was doing, Dylan, I was the shark in the water. I was the killer of real estate back in the days, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and up to that point. And I cared about nothing but the houses. I didn't care about the people. I didn't care about anything except for closing the deal, right? That's what the space created, and the environment pushed everybody to do that, pushing and hustling and hustling. And so I was like, you know what? There's got to be a better way to do it. And I realized, and there's a whole backstory to that, and we have a longer time one day, I'll tell you. But I was realizing there's a family attached to every house that I'm talking to. These aren't all single people. Maybe you're talking to one person of the family, the husband or the wife, the decision maker mostly, but there's people attached to that. There's families attached there. There's schools, proms, there's family members living down the street, could be family land, whatever else. There's things attached to these properties that investors don't know. A lot of times investors are going out there, I want to buy your house for cash. I can close quick. And, they use things like manipulation, persuasion, bullying. There's different ways that can be interpreted by a person when you're forced to make a bad decision. It's not the best decision for your family at the last possible minute. And then people leave homeowners hanging. That was where I came in, Dylan, is I got so many calls at the last minute from people saying this investor said they're going to buy my house. This person was this, they're a great talker. They met with me. They did this. Then they passed me on to somebody else that is. And now I'm going to sell at an auction tomorrow. And you wouldn't believe in the people that I've had tell me this. And it's heartbreaking realizing there wasn't one, Dylan, there wasn't 2, there
Yep.
were hundreds and hundreds of people, because everybody made real estate investing be so simple. The wholesaling wasn't around more than 15 years ago, right? Wholesaling, just think about it. Wholesaling is about as new as Uber and, the Grubhub, DoorDash, or whatever else. It's brand new. So you got to think about it. It hasn't been tested, over time going to the masses, meaning even if it was around the masses now where you can have kids learning how to wholesale and flipping contracts, and you got people that don't have tenure in the business and don't have a lot of experience in transactions, locking properties up under contract and getting paid to be able to do it. So you have so many people doing it. Not that it's wrong. It's just
Right.
it hasn't been honed in enough where you can build a legitimate long-term sustainable business from the methods and strategies that you're implementing.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Some people do a deal, make 50 grand on their first deal, but they've never made 50 grand in their life. Why? It sounds unbelievable. Can it happen? Yeah, but it's not a consistent model for someone to go out there. And so attached to that 50 grand had to come from somewhere, Dylan. That 50,000 was the family's 50,000 that they gave up. So what if that family got nothing and you got $50,000? I looked at it as, how's that fair? And I was like, that's going to be the death of wholesaling in my eyes when it gets questioned and keeps going so much, because everybody's trying to do it, taking people's houses, taking the equity from them, just like in subject to and things where you're taking a lot, you're not giving a lot back. It's not reciprocal. And I really believe my business is going to be a reciprocal relationship where I help a homeowner stay in the property while everybody else is saying go. I tell them to stay. And that's what's been the most successful thing for me in the last decade.
Hey, I see it from that side entirely, right? So I was in the distressed space, right? So I was wholesaler, worked for a company, worked for myself. Then I got in as a realtor. Realtors and wholesalers don't necessarily like each other. They may pit themselves against each other. I think wholesale might have been a dirty word in the real estate school that I went to. But what I've seen is that there's a lot of, I would say, animosity within the real estate space, not even the consumer side, just in the operator side, because you have people who say, well, these are people that are inexperienced, they don't know what they're doing. And, that may be true. And I'm a realtor now, so I can definitely say there's some of that on the wholesale side. But also, too, it's not easy to make money in real estate or money in general, I would say. And so I'm also a fan of folks getting into real estate however they can get into. Can someone who's just getting started do the note strategy that you're doing, or would they need to have like a large nest egg?
Well, when you say note, and I look at it as that confuses a lot of people out there too, Dylan, when they hear that creating a note or anything. So what I want to make it so just clear for anyone watching is what we're doing is we're going to create another mortgage just like the mortgage they have, right? So think it that way. If you tell someone I'm going to give them a note, well, the homeowner that's there, that's a borrower potentially, they may not even know they have a note. They may say, I have a deed of trust or I have a mortgage, right? And you say note, there we're off on the wrong place just because of terminology, right? So when it gets down to it, whatever that person has, we're just going to give them one more of that, or we can even take over their first one, Dylan. That's the other good thing. Depending on the property, let's take over the first mortgage, pay it off, write them a brand new one if we have to. But again, you got low interest rates out there. And what the difference of today's market is, the low interest rates on those first mortgages make a second mortgage affordable. And it's crazy to believe that you can do a second mortgage interest only and add that with the first mortgage low rates at 4% or below, and you still have cheaper than market rents in over 85% of the markets in the country, Dylan. Isn't that crazy? An interest only second mortgage combined with a standard 30-year first, and you're still lower than market rents almost everywhere. Now, here's what's going to happen. Rates come down, people work on refinancing and getting things out of that. That's the other piece about it, because I don't just create a new mortgage for someone. I'm creating the ability for them to stay, paying their back payments, paying off credit cards, paying off cars, paying off whatever's going to lower that monthly outlay of finances for someone, so they have the ability to afford their house. It's their home. then they can be in control, Dylan, of what they want to do with it when they get their head above water. That's what's the most important thing about it. When someone's above water in that transaction, they can breathe. Now they can sell their home if they want to with the realtor that they liked and talk to them, or they can fix their home up, which I step in and I do that as well for them if I need to help them get more money for the house at resale. We can do all of those things. So when it says if somebody can get involved with nothing, yes, someone can get involved without a large nest egg. And here's the easiest way.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Just let me do it. Let me do it for you and pay you. I will help the homeowner. I can speak from the position of financing authority. It's not third person money. It's not he said, she said. It's my checkbook closing the transaction. I don't have to borrow that money from somebody else to get this and get proof of this and proof of this, proof from all these other people in the transaction. I work directly with the homeowners. I work directly with them to help them stay in their home. We've been successful enough, almost 10,000 families, Dylan, doing that same thing. So
I want to ask you maybe a granular question. Don't give away all the gold here, Chad, but just give us a nugget. So on a granular level, if folks have back payment, medical bill came up, right? They couldn't make their mortgage. How is this working for them to get up to speed? Are they making the same payments that they were paying the mortgage company to whoever is the new holder of the note, the deed, the new mortgage? Is it sometimes there's a period where they are not making any payments so that they can get caught up in their other bills? What's a scenario? How does this play out?
good question. The great thing about this is there's flexibility. Now, I'll give you a quick example. When you buy a home, when you get a first mortgage, right? You're closing on your new house. Your first mortgage payment's due in 2 months. That's basically you can waive so you got 2 months. Of 12 months, you basically only have 10 payments that year. Do you know that's kind of crazy, right, Dylan? So now you think about it. So if you got a $2,000 a month mortgage payment, that's $4,000 you saved your first year. Divide that $4,000 up over the next year that you just saved. You can subtract that down on your mortgage payment. So you thought you had, a large outlay, but now if you think about it, my mortgage payment wasn't $2,000 a month that year, was it? No, you do the math on it, your mortgage payment was around 1,600 or whatever, $1,700 a month. Now, but people miss it because they don't account for that extra money, those extra free time. That's the same with creating a new note. If we're able to create something to give someone some time, we're giving them a little bit of a grace period to get started too, just like in closing a loan. So they're going to have a little bit of time there. We're freeing them up and reinstating their existing first mortgage in most cases as well. So that gives them some free time. So you think about it, when someone starts with how I'm helping them, they've got a 2-month cushion almost, Dylan, to get back on their feet because we're clearing up the default, the foreclosure, everything else, and they're starting a new loan, they're adding a loan. So now what can an average family save in a 2-month period from doing that? Can they save enough in 60 days to start and make their first payments on time with their new loans? And a majority of all the people, 97% of the people so far have been able to do that. If they don't and they can't and they're not working, we don't let them engage into a new loan, Dylan. We work on a different type of strategy. It would be partnering with the homeowner, fix their home up, get them into a different property, move them somewhere else, take their equity, roll it into another house as a down payment. We can do so many other things, but having someone understand their options is the only difference. And that's why I say, let me do it. Let me let the homeowner understand their options, because that's the biggest part of this industry is people don't explain all the options that someone has. An investor will only explain what's best for them. And it's unfortunate in a lot of cases because I'm on this end hearing what someone thought was going to happen and didn't. And then they call me at the end, Dylan, after everybody's pitched these people every single day. Someone called me and pitched me, and I was like, great, get all the pitches you want. If nothing works out for you, call me at the end. And they all call me at the day or two before, Dylan, and they say, hey, you were right. How can you help me now? Okay, grab that piece of paper. Here's what we wrote down before. Do you see that? Is that going to work? Can you afford that payment monthly? Then that's how I work with someone. I don't choose payments for people, Dylan. The people choose their payment. And that's why I call it people before profit. And it works out.
This is tremendous stuff. I mean, there's a affordable housing crisis right now all over, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot of different strategies that are being thrown at the wall. It's kind of like throw it at the wall, see what sticks. You hear a lot of chatter about, 50-year mortgages. You hear a lot of chatter about, ADUs, alternative housing, tiny homes. But how can we keep people in their homes? There's thousands, most people who are not in the real estate space are unaware of this. There's thousands and thousands of people who are losing their homes every month across the country. Even in one state, you'll have hundreds, right? And so if we can keep those people in their homes, that's going in the right direction, and make it, so the person who's facilitating that is incentivized to do it as well. Chad, we are coming up on time here, though. Where can folks go if maybe they have a deal they'd like your feedback on, or how can folks connect with you?
Easiest way, just email me, or, go email me, chad@chadmccall.com, chad@chadmccall.com. That's the easiest way. And we'll talk about the deal, but mainly we'll see about how to help someone. If that's your interest, if you're one of the people that's looking to help and be profitable at the same time, that's something I can help you with. And if you're serious about it, let me know. I'll talk to him.
Chad, thank you so much for coming on the
It's
show
been a
today.
pleasure, Dylan. Thank you much, man. Keep it up, buddy.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.